This is John from Last Retch, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
One, two, three, four. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
This is 70,000 Tons of Metal, the original but world's biggest heavy metal cruise. 60 bands, 4 days, 1 cruise ship, only 3,000 tickets. It's like having an all-access backstage pass. January 29th to February 2nd, 2026. From Miami, Florida to Nassau, the Bahamas, and back. 70,000 tons of metal. What are you doing next winter?
Yeah, we're straight. Where are you guys located?
We're in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada,
Oh, nice.
which is about a 40-minute drive west of Toronto. 'Cause
Okay,
everybody
so not
knows
too bad.
Toronto, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think probably somewhere along the way I may have heard of Hamilton. I don't know how, but
Yeah, it would be like the second biggest market here in Ontario. I guess if you don't include Ottawa, which is like a 6-hour drive away. So
right. Okay.
yeah,
So if you want, we can just jump right in and see where we end up. I've got some
yeah,
stuff,
sure, man.
but I like to just talk, so we'll just see what ends up happening and where we go.
Sounds good.
So I've been listening to it, prepping for this thing, and Dissolved in Lie is heavy as shit, man. That is some good stuff.
Thanks,
What's been the
man.
response to it so far?
The response has been good. The music video has like over 40,000 views in like a week, so that's it's performing a lot better than any other video clip or anything else we've put out. So that seems to be going well. But yeah, people like it.
And Abject Cruelty, where it's coming from, that's out September 26th, right?
That's correct. Yeah, Time to Kill Records. Their pre-orders are up. Yeah, it's coming out this month.
So now that it's complete, I mean, and it's done, how do you feel about it? And are you satisfied with the way it turned out?
Yeah, I'm really happy with the record. Yeah, it was. I mean, we recorded it in May of 2024.
Oh,
So we got the final mix by the end of probably fall 2024. So like, I mean, it's kind of already been done and dusted in my mind for like a year now. So
right.
so it's nice to actually be able to get it out there and see if people like the music, which so far they like the 2 singles. So
Have you been playing those songs live or songs from this
Yeah.
record live?
yeah, we've been playing. Well, one of the songs, I think it's the 3rd track, is called "Dissecting the Leper." And we released that as a standalone single last year for Noxious Ruin magazine. So we've been playing that one live for a while, and then we've been playing "In the Polder They Reek," which was the first single, for a little bit too. And the crowd response has been really good for those 2 tracks.
Okay. So let's just jump a little deeper here. Why so pissed off? I mean, I love it, but I'm just curious, what's getting you so pissed off?
I mean, the simple answer would be that like you're sold some bullshit when you're younger, that if you work hard and you do the right things, then your life's going to be awesome. And I did well in school, did all the shit you're supposed to do, went off and did university. And I'm not saying I don't have a great life. I have a good job, but it's more just like I can't afford a house. There's
Right.
people living on the street in front of my house that don't have a place to live, and they're addicted to drugs and mentally ill, and the city doesn't do anything about it. So just, I don't know, kind of pissed off that like we were sold this fucking lie and everybody's struggling. I mean, you hear it from everybody, right? Everything's too expensive. Government
Yeah.
doesn't really care about us, and it's bullshit. So
And it's getting
wrote a
worse.
bunch of death metal. Yeah, it's getting worse. There's no end in sight. So I wrote a bunch of death metal about how, fuck all that.
So how do you think the lyrics in Dissolved in Lie reflect the harsh realities of mental illness and addiction in today's society?
Well, it's basically just about like either mutilating or hurting yourself or doing drugs just to like escape the reality, or like even just like killing yourself. I mean, obviously I wish there was more resources for people, but the sad reality is some people realize that, doing drugs, hurting themselves, or even ending their life is better than their reality. And that's really sad that that's the state of the world we're in. So yeah, Dissolved in Lie is just about like basically like a total escapist I guess, plan to not deal with the fact that reality isn't what you want it to be.
If you had something to say to anybody listening who's feeling any of that or in those situations, like we all are, but maybe even a little deeper, what would you say to them?
I mean, reach out to your friends. Like people, everybody has people that care about them, even if you think you don't. Like there's a lot of people that would be really upset if you did something bad to yourself. So reach out to your friends, your family, even if maybe you haven't been in touch. Like there's a lot of people that'll be willing to help you. And also just realize that like it's not ever as bad as you think. Like, yeah, I complain about being sold a crock of shit about work
Right,
hard. But like at the end of the day, I'm fine. I have a nice apartment. I have a lovely partner. I have a job. I eat every day. It's not that bad.
right.
So at the end of the day, things can get better. Just maybe rock out some tunes, headbang a bit. Maybe you'll feel better about it.
Yes. Definitely this kind of music, I know for me, and I know the people I talk to as artists, is super cathartic, right? I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah. The aggression just I don't know. When you can relate to the aggression and the feelings of frustration, it just kind of feels like validating. So
right.
here's some other guy yelling about pissed off about stuff. You think, oh, maybe I'm not strange for being so upset here,
Right,
right?
but even if you don't like get the lyrics or you're not, really in tune with the lyrics, I think that sort of aggression and that sort of distortion and
Yeah,
whatever the word I'm looking for is really, really helpful. Sometimes better than therapy.
yeah. It's raw and visceral, right? It's like
Yeah.
some people like to hit the punching bag. It's like some people are gonna riff out with a loud guitar. It's a visceral, I guess, way to express yourself. So.
We talk a lot about mental health on this show, and I was wondering, do you feel any
Yeah.
sense of or sort of responsibility in your lyrics to bring that message across?
Mm, I wouldn't say a responsibility. Um, Although I sympathize, of course, with people going through tough things.
Right.
I don't really look at my art as like a service to anyone other than like my expression. So if I'm feeling like writing about topics of mental illness, then like that's what I'll do because it helps me like express myself and that's my art. But to feel like sort of responsibility, I don't think I do because ultimately like I make art for myself. And if other people enjoy it, that's great. And I'm going to try to be genuine in what I'm talking about, but not really a responsibility. But if someone can relate to something, then, that's cool because maybe that'll help them feel a little bit less alienated,
Okay.
right?
Uh, Dissolved in Live, did I read right? It's written in 15 minutes?
More or less. Yeah. So the recording of this album was kind of a whirlwind where we were looking for a new drummer because our previous drummer had left the band. He didn't want to be playing gigs anymore. Totally understandable.
Yeah.
And the plan was to go into the studio. Our old drummer, Davis Maxwell, he's also our producer. So the plan was to go in and he was just going to record the drums while we still looked for like a permanent live drummer. But then about a month before the recording session was booked, we found a guy that really fit the mold. He's our current drummer, Spencer.
Mhm.
And basically, at the first band practice with him, we told him we were going to record this record. And he's like, well, I want to do it. I said, well, you have like 4 weeks to learn 8 songs, one of which isn't even done. That's dissolved. We haven't even finished writing it. We're kind of down to the wire. And he's like, no, I'm going to do it. So he learned the drum parts, he put his spin on it. And then about a week before the studio, our other guitar player, Derek, is like, yeah, I have this eighth song, but I can't figure out like the song structure. He couldn't really figure out how to make it work. So he came over, we got a whiteboard, we made names for all of the riffs he had, and then I kind of arranged it the way I saw it would work. Everybody liked the arrangement. And then we sent that video to Spencer, our drummer, and then he just kind of made up the drums on the fly in the studio.
Oh, wow.
So, and like that song is I think his craziest drum performance on the record. Like he's going all over the place on Dissolved. So
Mhm.
I think it worked out really well. Like normally we like to be prepared, but there is something about the spontaneity of like, having a fire under your ass and a deadline that kind of
Yeah.
brings out something different. So I really enjoyed the song.
And sometimes you catch that lightning in the bottle, right? Which it seems like you did with
Yeah.
Dissolved.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't overthink it. We were like, kind of, it's crunch time. And like it turned out to be one of our favorite tracks. That's why we picked it for a single. So pretty stoked on it.
Okay. When you're writing and when you were writing for this record, do you write with like the live setting in mind, how it's going to come across like this is a good spot for a pit or a mosh or a whatever, or do you write the song for the song's sake and then convert it?
So I think moving forward, we're going to try to write a little bit more for the live setting. But to be honest, up until this point, I've always just been writing for the song, like whatever works structurally. Like I try not to overcomplicate the song structures. Like a lot of them are just like pop song structures, verse, chorus, verse, bridge, outro. Like I don't want to overcomplicate it. We're trying to be like very simple, groovy death metal. Um, but I do notice when we write a part, like certain parts we know like this is gonna go off live, and then when it does, it's kind of rewarding. So for the next record, which we did pre-production for it last week, we've definitely been writing more with the live setting in mind for sure.
Oh, so you're already like on to the next one.
Yeah, we're gonna record that in the winter. We just went in the studio and did pre-production on August 18th and banged out just simple guitar, bass, drum like pre-production demos so that our vocalist can fit his lyrics over some quality demos. So yeah.
So then, do you think about consciously not writing the same record from release to release? Like you don't want to write this one again, but you don't want to lose your fans, right? You still have your wheelhouse
Yeah.
that's still Last Retch.
Yes. So I think no matter what, it's going to sound like our band because there's certain elements in my style of guitar playing and our vocalist Finley's vocal delivery that are kind of like cornerstones of our sound. So whatever we do, it'll be through the lens of that. I think it'll still sound like us, but I'm a guy that wears my influences, not just my old ones, but my current ones, like on my sleeve. So I can't help but be influenced by whatever I'm listening to a lot of like now.
Right.
So the next album definitely has a different vibe. There's a lot more like slower passages. I listen to a lot of death doom music, so there's some slower, doomier passages. But ultimately, it's still going to be like an HM2 style, groovy, simple, old school death metal with a lot of pinch harmonics and dive bombs. That's basically how you get our sound. So
Okay. When you say you're listening, what you're listening to now, what death doom are you listening to at the moment?
I really liked that latest Spectral Voice record that came out last February. That's all the Blood Incantation guys
Yeah,
doing a Death Doom project. I love that record. I listened to a lot of Mortiferum.
not familiar.
Yeah, Mortiferum's a great band. I believe they're still on Profound Lore Records. They have a couple albums. Preserved in Torment is one of them, and incredible Death Doom band. And then I'm drawing a blank right now, trying to think of stuff. I've been listening to this band called Sanctuarium. I believe they're from Spain or somewhere in Europe. They had an album called Melted and Decomposed last year. Just a lot of stuff like that. Just doomier, slower, bigger riffs.
If you could put this together, if you have, there's no budget and you could put this, on the stage however you wanted, what would the immersive multimedia experience look like, visually and sonically, especially depicted
Ooh,
like in the nightmare zone of,
yeah.
of the,
Well, I definitely have like more comprehensive lighting. We got like a really simple LED lighting setup recently because a lot of time we're still playing like floor shows and mixed bills and hardcore shows, and we just found that there wasn't a lot of focus on aesthetic or vibe in those settings. So we wanted to like show up with at least like our lighting system and like a fog machine so we can just turn off all the lights, underlight the stage in like all red or green, and then just smoke it out just so you get like a spooky vibe.
right.
So I would say maybe like dialing that up like to where like we have like an actual lighting rig with like a lighting operator. That'd be cool to get some coordinated lighting going. Um, More smoke. Yeah, that's probably it. Like I don't think I'd go like pyro. We're not like epic enough for the pyro vibe. We're more trying to be like grimy and gross, but yeah, I'd say just a lot of smoke and then a lot of like under lighting. So like nothing from the top, just from the bottom, just to make it real spooky. Yeah. That's what I would do.
I know you talked about your drummer couldn't do the live thing. So are you guys heading out on the road or taking this out on the road, or is it too difficult
Um,
at the moment?
it's really difficult for us from Canada to tour in the United States.
Oh, yeah, everybody,
Um,
right.
yeah, the visa process it's not that expensive. I think it works out to be like $2,000 for a band of 5 people, roughly. But the hard part is you have to prove that you have shows booked for the period that you apply for your visa.
Oh,
And the problem is the applications can take anywhere from 6 to 8 months to get approved. And now, um, with all of the turmoil going on in the U.S. government, this is through Department of Homeland Security. So I've been hearing bands waiting up to 12 months to get their visas approved.
right. So it fucks it all up.
Well, so basically, if I wanted to apply today, then worst case scenario, we get our visas September 2nd of 2026. And the visa period is for a year. So I'd have to have a tour booked with signed agreements from promoters
A year and
from
a half from now.
October. Yeah, a year and a half. So I contact promoters in the States and they're like, first off, we don't know who you are. Second off, a year and a half from now, like get lost. Right.
Right.
So the difficult part is getting work, which from what I hear, people just book these fake tours and submit them and somehow get approved. But that seems a little sketchy to me. And then if you try to go into the States without the visas and you get caught, you get a 5 year ban and you can't go into America for any reason for 5 years.
Wow.
So it's basically where like we need to get enough traction that there's a booking agent that wants to work with us and help us plan this tour a year in advance, and then we'll apply for our visa.
That almost seems impossible to do though, right? Because I mean, that's so far away. Anything can happen
I
between now and then.
know. That's why we're just going to go to Europe because going to Europe is way easier. So all of our America plans kind of got put on hold, and now next year we're focusing on we want to go to Europe at least twice next year.
Nice. I
So
know
that's the
all the
plan.
festivals, well, not all the festivals, but a lot of the American festivals suffered this summer because a lot of those bands couldn't get here from Europe or from Asia or from wherever. They had the same problem. The Mad with
Yeah,
Power Festival, I mean, they lost their shirt because couldn't get people here.
it's crazy because like we invite American bands to come up and play with us, and they don't need anything. They can just come over the border, trailer
Right.
full of merch. They can say, "Yeah, we're coming to play some gigs. We're going to make some money," and the border guards are just like, "All right, buds, have a good time," you know. But
Yeah.
it's not the same the other way. It's too bad, It'd be nice if we had some sort of exemption for musicians so we can just go rock wherever we want.
Right.
But
100%.
I mean, it's not like we're
So,
making a whole bunch of money and taking it out of the U.S. economy.
right. What's next for you guys? Yeah, right. Because you're playing house shows or floor shows or whatever, smaller clubs, right? You're not taking anything out of anybody's pocket.
Nah, no, it's gas money.
Right. So what's next for you guys then?
Next, we have a release show. Actually, we're playing a show up in Quebec City with some good bands from there. Otratum, Decryptal, Disembodiment. There's a really good death metal scene in Quebec City right now. A lot of really cool bands. Sedimentum's another band from up there. They're not playing that night, but I'm sure those guys will be hanging around. And
Right.
that's September 27th. And then we have an album release show here in Hamilton, October 4th. And then the night before, actually, October 3rd, we're going to play in Toronto with Dead Congregation. They're
Oh,
coming
nice.
through. So that should be a good show, good venue, hopefully a good crowd. Be nice to get in front of a larger audience.
So you're staying busy up there anyway.
Yeah, there's a couple, like we try not to play the same market more than once or twice a year here because
Right.
otherwise you just get everybody will say, they'll be back next week. I'll just come next time.
Right.
So, but we're kind of, we're at that point now where if we don't leave and go play somewhere else, we're just going to kind of be spinning our wheels. So
Yeah.
we're definitely ready to get out there and play other places.
Okay. And if fans want to find you guys, how do they do so? Can you give us all your socials and that sort of thing?
Yeah, it's just Instagram is at last.retch. That's where we do most of our communication. I think we have a Facebook, but we never use it. So if you want to hit us up, Instagram's the way to go. There's a link on our bio that can direct you to anything else you'd want, whether it's the Bandcamp, pre-ordering the record, music videos, whatever, booking. So yeah, if you hit up our Instagram and go to the link in the bio, it'll take you anywhere you need.
Okay. So two more things for you before we close it out.
Sure.
One, nothing to do with the band, but if you're stranded on a deserted island and you could take three records for eternity, assuming you've got some solar powered player, what are
Yeah.
you taking?
Okay. First bolt thrower. Those ones loyal. Um, Definitely my favorite, probably death metal record ever. I'm a huge bolt thrower guy, and they're like the rare band who their last record, in my opinion, is their best record. Like no skips, perfect album, love it. Never get sick of it.
Right.
Um, if I had to take something, so that's death metal. Let me take something more, I guess, traditional metal. Probably like a Metallica record. I love Metallica, so I need a
Which one?
Metallica record. That's the hard part because I want to say Ride the Lightning because
Okay, yeah, that's what I would go with. Yeah.
but if I'm on a desert island and I already have a bolt thrower record, I got most of my heavy jams covered. So controversial, maybe I want Black Album, maybe I want some ballads,
Okay.
maybe I want some mix it up a
That's
bit.
great. Anything after black, I'm not on board anymore, but I'll
Yeah,
go with that. Sorry,
I'm a big.
you need my approval, I guess.
Oh, no worries. I'm a big 2 through 5 guy. I'm not the biggest
Yeah.
kill 'em all guy, but like Ride the Lightning through Black, I'm pretty happy with. So I can take any of those really. And then the final record should be something not metal, because you're gonna get sick of it. You need
Yeah.
something chill.
So for me, that's probably the wall.
Oh, that's a great one. That's a great one. I don't know, maybe moving pictures, Rush.
Yes, that's a good one
I got
too.
I got I got to rep my Canadian boys in Rush.
Yeah,
So
I feel that.
yeah, yeah. So Black Album, moving pictures, those once loyal. That'd be my three desert island.
Fair enough. So, my friend, I appreciate your time. I do love the record.